November 5, Bravo Echo. Standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Net. Top of the hour, 25 minutes, 1600 Zulu. November 5, Bravo Echo. This is Kilo 1, Bravo, Oscar Bravo. The Flyers Club net will begin on this frequency in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, the Flyers Club.
Good morning, Bob. K1BOB, WA6LJS. You're about 10 over.
John, you're the same. Very good, very good today. Hey, would you mind bringing in Don today? That'll help me out a bit. I'm on emergency generator power right now. We had pretty good snow, and then someone must have slid off the road and hit a power line way down towards Boise, a feeder line that comes up here, and took the power out. So it's going to be a while. It takes a while for them to redo a power pole.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'll be glad to do that for you. I'll set up Echolink here. And, yeah, that's happened, I think it's happened twice in the 25 years that I've been up here. We got all underground power lines. There's no poles around here, but way down below that feeds the underground, several times in the past 25 years, people knocked the pole down and cut power.
Yeah, we've had two in this year alone. In fact, there was a gal from the Sheriff's Department, a dispatcher, I think, hit one coming out of her house onto the main highway and nailed one, and that took all day, or actually more than a day. So they're hard to do. Yeah, we're underground up here in the housing area, but it's all poles that bring it up. Anyway, there's still old school up here, and then occasionally a tree goes over them too. So you never know. So hence we got the generator. It's working pretty good. Got it up going with the switchology and pulling it outside and getting the garage door open. About 12 minutes this morning, 10, 12 minutes. K1BOB, thanks, John.
Okay, real good, Bob. Well, that's not bad. Got 12 minutes to get up and running once it stops. Mine will come up in about 12 seconds as soon as the automatic transfer switch kicks in. But unfortunately, I haven't had to use it for a while because I thought a couple, was it 2 weeks ago when we had these 60-knot winds in certain areas here, I thought that they would cut the power, but they never did. So now we're supposed to get another Santa Ana, but it's not going to be a heavy one, just, but a little, maybe 20-mile-an-hour winds or something. But that's supposed to happen this week. Anyway, very good. I'll bring Don in for you, and I'm going to go get a cup of coffee while I think of it. So K1BOB, WA6LJS, standing by for the Flyers net, top of the hour.
Okay, John, thank you very much. K1BOB, and Flyers Club will begin at 1600 Zulu. 1600 Zulu.
And good morning, Bob and John, W5OG. I'm here also, Bob, if I can help someone.
Okay, caught that, Dale, and thank you for that. John said he'd do NetLoader, if you could back him up on that. I'm bringing mine up too, so hopefully that'll work. My internet seems to be just fine. The Starlink started back up, and so thanks, Dale. If you just back up John, please. WA6LJS would be bringing Don in. That would be great. And let's see, somebody else was in there at the same time. That radio come back?
Yeah, W5ABI. You're pushing 20 over, Bob. Over.
Oh, very good. 10 over here, Joe. Glad everything's working. See, the amp is working fine, and nothing's flickering here in the basement, so I guess we're good to go. I don't know if I dare turn on a electric heater though, which I know I get a little electric fireplace down here. I usually have on, but I'm gonna give it a go though. It should work. I'm not overtasking the generator outside, so and we'll see how that goes. K1BOB. Thank you, Joe.
I hope you get your power back, Bob. K1BOB, W5ABI, standing by for net.
W5OG, WA6LJS.
Yeah, WA6LJS. Go ahead, John, W5OG.
Yeah, I think Bob said to back me up on NetLogger. I'm not doing NetLogger. That's Leon is doing that. He meant Echolink. So that's the one that I'll do. Very good. I'll be standing by, WA6LJS.
Yeah, I quickly brought up Ned Logger. I wondered if Lee was there today, and sure enough, he is. So I suspected as much there, John. But thank you, W5OG.
Yeah, sorry about the confusion on that. I had an interruption in here. I didn't know what I was saying. K1BOB, Flyers Club is going to start on the hour. Standing by for the Air Force Flyers Club next. W7AJN, K1BOB, loud and clear, John. Good morning. You're on the list. Good morning, Bob. Thank you very much. Good copy, Jim. K1BOB. Thanks for joining us this morning. W2WLD standing by for the Air Force Flyers Club next. Morning, Captain Bill. Ben S6 here. Got you, Bill. K1BOB. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bob. You're a 9. S9. K1BOB, W2WLD. Is this any better?
Yeah, a little bit better, Bill. I wasn't looking at the meter, though. I figured you have the power turned down.
I turned on a little processing, over.
Oh, yeah, big difference. You're S8 now, S8. Normally I get you a 7 to an 8. So that's pretty dang good. I'm not pointed on you like I do when you're running the net. Yeah, it's a lot better, Bill, with the processor. The K1BOB.
And the audio is okay.
Oh, yeah, just fine here.
Thank you, Bob. W2WLD.
My pleasure. K1BOB. That's going to start in 10 minutes. 10 minutes to Air Force Flyers Club net.
K1BOB, K5CAY, standing by for the net.
K5CAY, good to hear you. Good to hear you there. How's everything up in Tulsa?
It's doing pretty well. It's fairly warm today. Front just went through. It's supposed to drop down into 40, so, but doing well.
Well, very good. You're the only one in the Air Force Flyers Club that I ever had the knowing or courtesy of getting to pleasure to get to fly with you, although I really don't remember it.
I looked in my log. I think it was a night toss mission, 2 of them, and they were not my favorites.
Oh no, night toss or night lad, both of those. Always had me in the edge. Well, I was on the edge of my seat most of the time during the night stuff there. You had to be, you might not have survived at all. They've had guys get killed doing that, I guess. They had one, it was a guy I knew from Upper Hafer. He went to F-15Es, and he was out on Sailor Creek Range. I believe they did a toss in an F-15E. And coming down and going back to TFR, turning away from the target or off the target, they went right in the ground out there, north of Snippy's nose.
Yeah, those things happen. I just remember, when you pull up for the toss and then roll over, watching twin falls go across the canopy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the good old days. I don't know if my heart could stand that now, Dan. Very good. We'll have to talk about that more someday. Well, thank you for joining us. Sorry, I don't have an F-111 question. It'll be a World War I question. So good to have you with us, Dan. Catch you on the list, sir.
Hello, Radio 1.
K1BOB, thank you much. K5CAY standing by.
A nice signal. That's 8 here, Dan.
Whiskey 5, Delta Golf Victor Mobile.
Go ahead, Whiskey 5 station, W5ABI.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me this was a military flyers club frequency or something like that, over.
It's the Air Force Flyers Club net, and we start at 1600. You're welcome to join.
Yeah, okay, well, I was an Air Force flyer, but it was a long time ago, back in the 80s there, over.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you can join. Give me your full call, over.
It's Whiskey 5, Delta Golf Victor. I say again, Whiskey 5, don't get vaccinated.
Yeah, Whiskey 5, Delta Golf Victor, W5ABI. Yeah, we start at 1600 in about 6 minutes, and you're welcome to check in, over.
Yeah, I'm running some errands today. I may try to pop in there. I just got out of the MD's office, and I got to go talk to the MD. And then I got to get some food because I've been fasting and I'm hungry. But I'll try to check in maybe in a little bit. I'm about destitute. W5DGD Mobile.
Yeah, Roger. You're welcome to check in at any time. W5ABI is standing by for net. N5DE, W5ABI. Did you hear that station, Ray?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, not a problem. I got him on the list. I put him down the bottom. I had moved him to the top, but I put him on the bottom since he's going to be busy for a little bit.
Okay, thanks. N5DE, W5ABI, standing by for net.
The Air Force Flyers Club will begin in 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the hour. This is K1BOB.
Kilo Bravo 0, Lima Tango Tango.
Kilo Bravo 0 station, please come back.
Yeah, Bob, maybe you can hear me a little better now. Kilo Bravo 0, Lima Tango Tango.
Yeah, good morning, Larry. Now I hear you very well. You're about S8, S9. Are you still at your home KTH?
Yeah, QSL. Still at the home QH here in Florida. And you're coming in here about an S9 yourself. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, sir. Glad you're with us. And I love your home KTH signal there. I've never forgot to turn my transmitter on.
Yeah, I just got into the shack. I was doing some stuff outside, picking up, doing some laundry, just trying to keep up on things. I had the motorcycle out yesterday, and I put it away, as I don't anticipate riding it again for a couple more days. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, but we'll be standing by for that.
Okay, Larry, I believe your story. Yeah, I had to work outside a little bit this morning for about 12 minutes. Pull the generator out and start it up and turn all the switches. So we're running emergency gen here today, Larry. So welcome to the net again. Glad you're in there.
Up, there's a net starting in 5 minutes.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. This is Kilo 1, Bravo, Oscar Bravo. Name is Bob. I'll be your net controller. My location is 30 miles north of Boise, Idaho, in the Idaho West Central Mountains. This net begins at 1600 Zulu this time of year. The Flyers Club meets on this frequency every day of the year as best we can on 14290 upper side band. You can also hear us, see us, and see the net logger corresponding to this net on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search put in K4 YDB. That's Kilo 4 Yankee Delta Bravo live stream now, and it should come up, or you'll be able to pick it out by the date, usually. Lord says, well, they all say live stream, I think. Anyway, the Players Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, from all services and air branches. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't need to be involved in the military or aviation to check in. We'd love to have you just the same. And please visit our website if you're not familiar with us. It's at Air Forces, plural, Flyers, plural, club.org. That's Air Forces Flyers Club.org. Learn all about us and see who's part of the net here and see who the members are. Great. K1DOB. Our net format is to go once down the initial check-in list, make a second call out for check-ins, and go to a 73 round to complete the net. Please try and limit your comments to about 2 minutes. Keep in mind, we need to be off in about an hour and a half from now to allow the Alaska Pacific net to come in. This is a directed net. To contact the net or otherwise, please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in as required. We are National Net and Scope, and we do have relay stations all the way across the United States. This is important. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, location, and if you need an early out from the net or not. If you've got a 100-watt radio, please crank it up to full power on it. Otherwise, we don't do well with QRP, especially with the extent of this country. So that's not what we're about. Anyway, with that, I'm running on emergency power this morning. We got a rude awakening about 10 minutes prior to me getting up and coming down here. And we had a power outage. A telephone pole was taken out down in Boise on the feeder line that comes up the Idaho 21 corridor here all the way up to Idaho City and beyond. That's a big area now with lots of new homes, so there's pretty good demand. But when you take down a power pole, all bets are off. And it takes a while. It'll probably take at least all day for them to locate it, because sometimes these power poles are out in the woods up here. Down in Boise, it ought to be a lot easier, though. With that, on the list today, which N5BE has been nicely preparing for us, Echolink, AFSC, Air Force Flyers Club on Echolink, and so far on the list, we have Leon up at the top there. He's going to give the question today. It's his question, and he was trying to get me tongue-tied with some French words in there of locations. So either he or his lovely wife, who's very well versed in Francais, will give that second question. Anyway, so good morning to Leon. He's our net logger too, and he's going to take over here in the event I am disabled from power here for a while. After that, we have WA6LJS. John, I don't see K0ZNC in there, so you get off the hook today. Otherwise, if he comes in, John, would you let me know and bring him in on Echolink? As we talked about, thank you, John. John is a net controller for tomorrow, treasurer, and admissions officer. Good morning, John. After that, we have our executive officer. That's W2WLD, Bill up in North Scotia, New York, northeast New York. Good morning to you, Bill. And after that, we have Charlie, K4YDB, the aforementioned, for doing the YouTube. Thank you, Charlie, for that, and good morning to you. After that, we have Joe out in New Mexico. City of Cross is there. Las Cruces, W5ADI. And next we have our Vice Commander, and that is W5OG, and Net Controller. Good morning to you in Mineola there, Dale. After that, we have John, and he's in Peoria, W7AJ in Peoria, Arizona. Good morning to you, John. Fine signal this morning. And next after that, we have Bob, Professor Bob, NX6RG, and Schroeder the Wonder Dog, and he's in Pleasanton, California. Good morning to you, Bob. After that, we have yet another Bob. It's the third Bob thus far. K2SJT in Lutz, Florida, or out of Holiday. I can't keep up. We ought to call it Lutz/Holiday on the city under your name. So good morning to you, Bob. After that, we have W6WAY for the California coast out there, James, and good morning to you, sir. James is in Corona. Next, we have, I guess, an old friend of mine or crewmate. He was probably an instructor. I might have been a newbie. I don't know. He said we were doing night toss deliveries on the range out of Sailor Creek one time. Or maybe he was. We both have. And that is Dan. K5CAY from Tulsa. He knows the Tulsa King. Okay, good morning, Dan. And then from Anthem, we have Mike, King Queen 6 Echo. Sounds like a hand of cards to me. So, Mike, good morning. Next we have on the list, as I timed out there, W5DGZ. That is David in Canyon Lake, Texas. Good morning to you, Dave. And after that, we have Scott in Dunkerton. Is that Iowa? That's KB0RST. All right, there's a good ham radio call sign. That's Scott. And good morning to you, Scott. Next we have Larry in Silver Springs. Guess he's at the home CTH. Got to ride the motorcycle yesterday. KB0LTT. Good morning to you, Larry. And after that, we have Brian, our net controller, on Saturdays down at San Antonio. That's WB5DRI. And after that, we have K8 Air Force, K8AF, and that is Russ, of course, in Ellensburg, Washington. May need help with Russ. Maybe I can get him through an SDR. We're just very close, that's all. Short skip, which we may not have. Okay, after that, we have James in Felton, Texas, KJ5PTE. KJ5PTE, good morning to you, James. And then we have Chris, who was receive only. He's a working man. However, he was in the NIP the other day. That's KF5KY. Good morning, Chris. And after that, we have receive only because his antenna got knocked down in the wind. In New Jersey, that is Ray, WB2JJO, and good morning to you, Ray. This is K1DOB. I'm going to ask for any other check-ins, and then after that, we're going to ask for any other early outs today. So with that, are there any other check-ins? Okay, my wife just came in. Told me the power was on. That's unbelievable. I can't tell down here. Still running generators. We're all devoid of commercial power. They'll wait. I don't trust them. So with that, I didn't hear any other check-ins. One more time. Are there any other check-ins for the Air Force flyers? Come now. Call sign, name, and location, please. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go out to Bill. W2WLD. Bill, would you give a call out, please?
Welcome, Bob. This is W2WLD of New York. Relaying for net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. We're taking check-ins. Members or guests. Full now. It's pretty quiet, Bob.
Yeah, ditto's here, Bill. Thank you, sir. Let's try John, WA6LJS. John, would you give it a try?
Wilco, this is WA6LJS, relaying for net control for the Monday morning Air Force Flyers net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. Oh, good morning, Justin. Yeah, KB7LAK is in there. And, yeah, he's barely hearing you, Bob, but I can relay when it comes his turn. Any other check-ins called out? All's quiet, back to net.
Okay, KB7LAK, very good, Justin. Probably need you for relay. I barely heard him. We're pretty short to Ogden, so that is the reason. Let's see. Thank you, John. This is K1BOB. I think I just heard. No, just not. I thought Don was in there. I overheard the ASSC net on Echo Link. Let's see. With that, is there anybody that requires an early out? Anybody that requires an early out that we need to get out early, please come now with your call. Any early outs for the Air Force fire? Okay, nothing heard except somebody about 2KC up. Okay, with that, we do have a question of the day. This question is courtesy of Lee, N5BE. And I thought because I'm running emergency power here and talking to the wife every now and then, I'm going to ask Lee to give that question, especially the second one, which I got half the pronunciations, but not all of them. So either Lee is going to give that, because I know he speaks some French, and you'll see why in a minute. But Lee, would you please give those? I'll try to reiterate them, and I think probably Charlie has them up on the live YouTube at this time. So N5BE, Lee, over to you for some assistance, please.
K1BOB, N5BE. I don't know how much assistance I'm going to be, so I guess we'll find out. So I was sitting there at the breakfast table every morning saying, what can I come up with a question to throw in the pool? And Bob went ahead and took this one today. And by the way, I sat at the breakfast table today, came up with 4 questions. It's not hard, guys. So, especially all you non-net loggers out there, you've got some great stories, great things happen in your careers, both in the military and outside of it. We'd love to hear it. So don't be shy. Send me a question. All right, let's go to this one. Many new weapons and capabilities were widely used for the first time in World War I. Can you name the weapon/capabilities that did not make its debut in World War I? So here are the possible answers. A. Observation balloons. Remember, they were widely used in World War I for artillery spotting. Bravo, airplanes. Charlie, tank. Delta, poison gas. And Echo, flamethrower. So which one of those did not make its debut in a war, in World War I? Which did not make its debut in World War I? Balloons, airplanes, tanks, poison gas, flamethrower. Those are your choices. Bonus question. World War I had both static warfare and massive assault. Can you name the battle associated with the wanton slaughter and the inept tactics that to this day causes anger and sorrow? A. The Battle of the Somme, 1916 / Verdun, 1916. Bravo. Belleau Wood, 1918. Charlie. Verdun, 1916. Standalone. Delta. Battle of Loos, 1915. And lastly, Echo. The Ypres Salient, 1915 to 1918. So let me go over those again. Which battle was associated with the wanton slaughter and inept tactics that to this day causes anger and sorrow? A. The Battle of the Somme and Verdun, 1916. Belleau Wood, 1918. Verdun as a standalone, 1916. Delta, the Battle of Loos, 1915. And lastly, Echo, the Ypres Salient, 1915 to 1918. The answers are matched pairs. A is A, B is B. So if you know one, that'll help you get the second one. So that's today's question. If you don't like my questions, start sending them in. K1BOB N5B. Back to you, Bob.
N5BE, K1BOB. Very good. Thank you for that, Lee. Does anybody need any of those two questions repeated? Was anybody not clear on those questions? Okay, nothing heard. Lee, thank you for that. And yeah, I'd just like to reiterate, as we do once in a while, is we'd like to hear questions from you. Some of you sit out there and enjoy the net every day. How about participating other than saying hi and trying to answer a question? Why don't you give us one? Occasionally I heard somebody the other day talking about what they did as a radio or electronic specialist the other day, which I thought was quite interesting. And stuff we normally don't get to hear about much, so we'd love to hear from all of you. Everybody did something they're probably very proud of, maybe some things that scared them during their time in the service, or sometimes they approached with trepidation and didn't know how to take it, and then learned it was all okay and they were doing just fine. Anyway, I'd like to hear some of the scary stories, times you thought your life might have been in danger, stuff like that. Of course, you don't need to. But we would like to have some, maybe other than death things, experiences or narrow experiences, but maybe some other fun things you learned along the way, things you're very proud of. We'd like to hear that stuff. So please don't be afraid to do that. And I know our folks that do give questions aren't too afraid to do that either. Leon, thank you very much. I think I would have got most of the pronunciations there. Except for one, maybe, the last one. So thanks for doing that. Okay, let's see. Well, we're going to begin the net here, and I'm going to go right to the list as we have it. I didn't hear any early outs. I didn't hear anybody that need to be moved to the top of the list. I didn't hear any for repeats in the question. So I guess we're set to go today. And thank you very much, Lee, for all you do. With that, well, guess who's at the top of the list? We might want to, Lee, you want to say something else and then maybe save answering the question towards the end. Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that World War I was devastating for the European countries, especially England, that lost almost a million. I'm not talking about the Dominion countries and the Commonwealth countries. I'm talking about the UK. They lost almost a million men dead, completely wiped it out. And if there was one country that was not ready for World War II, it was the UK. They were just still behind. And by the way, I saw something on a YouTube this week that because of the Blitz during World War II and the devastation that the Blitz did to London, London was not able to recapture its total population that was the same before the war started. So they did not recoup that level of population in London until 2015. That is staggering. So we were lucky here. We're not being affected directly by the war on our soil. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for today and today's small history lesson. All right, back to you, Bob. K1BOB N5B.
Okay, thanks for that. We will come back to you. If there's anything that precipitates creativity in mankind, new inventions, it's a war, unfortunately. We see that all the time, rising to the next level. And now we're trying to stay ahead, but who knows? It's a juggling act. Thank you. And next, let's go out to WA6LJS. And John out in Humboldt. Good morning again, John. You're up for the Flyers.
Okay, good morning, Bob. Good morning to the net. This is WA6LJS. So far, good conditions today. You're booming in 15 over, so is Leon, and I heard Larry out there, and a number of others that I heard are coming in very nicely here, and no Q Armeri on this side. Well, it's 45 degrees here, and kind of a high light marine front. I'm not seeing blue sky, but I'm seeing gray skies here. But that should burn through probably another couple hours, and we'll probably have full sun here again today. Let's see, an answer to the question. I don't really know, but I'm going to go guess and say alpha. Maybe the balloons weren't used yet. And obviously, if it's one of Lee's questions, it'll be the same letter for the bonus. So alpha for the SOM 1916. So that'll be alpha for me. And let's see, other thing I wanted to mention, I did send out a email to a number of people who were a little behind on their dues, and I'm getting some tremendous responses. It's almost overloading me here. There's a number of people that have sent their dues in on PayPal. Other ones wanted to write a check, and a number of people have said that they apologize, they just forget. I guess it's hard to remember if you don't write it down somewhere when your dues are due there. But so we're getting a very good response, which is really good. And unfortunately, there is several that are deciding to resign their membership. They just don't have the time anymore, and so those were taken care of too. But they could still, I've got to answer emails on a lot of them and tell them they're certainly welcome to still check in, even if they don't want to participate as an official member. So other than that, I'm going to cause a workload for Jennifer, updating all this stuff, because it's already a bit of a workload for me to go through all the rosters on my end. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Bob. Thanks for running things. Good conditions today. K1BOB, WA6LJS.
WA6LJS, K1BOB. Very good on that. Thanks for the reminder, John. Yeah, it is hard to go a year, and then I'm usually around Christmas time, end of the year, so I could kind of start thinking about it. Something would start gnawing on my mind, but unless you have something to remind you, especially if you come in July or something, I start paying that year to year, July to July. PayPal sure helps. They charge you 65 cents. That's well worth. What I used to do was have to write out a check, put it in an envelope, find a 50-cent stamp, and send it to you. So the PayPal is well worth the 65 cents of non-aggravation. However, I just don't want to forget to turn it off. My wife will probably find that out, though, when I die. This is K1BOB on that morbid point. Let's go out to Captain Bill, Northeast New York. WLD, what do you think? Bill?
Yeah, good morning, all. Audio still booming in here, 59594. But everybody's got a good signal, so I'll say propagation is very good today. Woke up to a bit of a surprise, about 3 inches of snow on the ground, just enough to be a nuisance. My wife has exercise classes early in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I did get up and clear the driveway and clear off her car. Our cars sit out in the driveway and get covered with snow because we've got the 2 MGs filling up the garage. Sometimes that doesn't make sense. Anyway, the questions. I focused on the word debut. And I believe observation balloons were debuted in the Civil War, not World War I. So I'm going to go with alpha for that reason. And not sure on the second one, other than it's a Leon question, so it has to be alpha. So please put me down for that. Bob, I'm going to ask to be a one and done. I'll be listening for a while if something comes up. But I do have to clean off my car, and I've got to get to the post office. So thank you, Bob. Everybody take care of 73. K1BOB, W2WLB.
W2WLB, K1BOB. Very good, Bill. Get you down for alpha. We need to clear off that very deep 3 inches of snow. Bill, we don't do anything for 3 inches of snow. We just drive over it here, and sometimes it goes away, and it creates a nice base for a gravel driveway, too. so it's a hard bottom at that point, so we can run a plow over it. Okay, thanks, Bill, and we'll wish you a 73 now to hang in there a little bit, and then you got to head out, understand? And let's go to Charlie. Charlie, thank you for doing the live YouTube there. Looks great. K4, YDB. Charlie, good morning, sir. You're up.
K1BOB, K4YDB. Well, good morning, Bob. Morning to all the flyers out there. And we got a couple of visitors in there. Hope everybody's having a great morning right now. I'll go ahead and give you the weather report. It's 53 degrees here. Supposed to get up into the mid 60s today, but it is overcast. I mean, no sun's going to come through yet anyway. But it is supposed to peak out tomorrow, I think, because I got to get out there. My trees have finally shed their leaves, so I got to go pick them up now. I've been waiting for this, and so I'll take care of that next week when the weather clears. At least that's the plan. But not a lot else going on over here. As far as the question goes, I'm gonna have to pass because I know the answer. I've seen the question. But anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Bob. K1BOB, K4YDB. I'm back to net.
Okay, Charlie, very good there. Got leaves on the ground, eh? And I'm going to pass on the question. Got that? I wonder how. Lee usually makes the answers in red. Somebody forgot to undo the red there and make it black type. Perhaps. I don't know. Very good, Charlie. It doesn't matter anyway. Next, we're going to go out to Las Cruces, and that is Joe. W5ABI with a great signal today, Joe, as always. You're up, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Bob. K1DOB and the Flyers, W5ABI. Yeah, nice, beautiful morning here, clear blue sky. Had a low of 38, right now it's 45, actually just went up to 46. And we're supposed to have a high of 70, so it's kind of like spring weather here. We're waiting for our 1 day of snow. We usually get that in late December. Didn't get it last year, but you have to take a picture of it because it's gone the next day. And we stay home because the local people down here are not used to driving. And being from Washington State, they've been through the passes many times, and they've seen a lot of snow and drove in a lot of it. So it's not me, I can do it, it's the other people. Hi. Anyhow, I'm also going to go with Alpha. Alpha was the question. I'm over here at the bottom, and thanks for running the net, Bob. Good morning to all the Flyers. K1DOB, W5ABI.
W5ABI, you're welcome, Joe. And thank you. We've got you for Alpha. And yeah, we know well if we go down to Boise, there's a exorbitant amount of accidents down there. All the folks from the West Coast that come in that have no idea how to drive in snow. So it's a good learning curve. It happens once greatly the first year, and the second year it happens half as much. The number of accidents for the same person. Anyway, that's probably what happened this morning down there. So with that, we're going to go out to Dale in Mineola, W5OG. What do you think, Dale?
Well, good morning again, Bob, and good morning to all on the net. W5OG here, yeah. What do I think? Well, I think that it's important to read the, as we used to say, RTFQ, and that's very important on today's question for sure. I was convinced that it was something else, and I got to reading it more closely, and it just popped out at you. So very interesting, yeah. I think Alpha is the correct one, and but I don't know. I thought I had it yesterday, and it was totally off base. Of course, I had to leave early yesterday, and as the result started early, and didn't get the result of some of the other discussions. Although I think everybody missed it yesterday. And the key part of that, and I was interested in hearing Lee's discussion about that airplane. I did not know that the jet engines actually also moved on that, but I guess they do not. And the phone's ringing here. I think I'm the only one that's going to be able to answer it. Alpha, and I'll be here at the bottom. Back to net, W5OG.
Okay, Dale. Get you down for a pair of aces there. Very good. Man, yeah, everyone got it wrong yesterday. Maybe Leon's trying to make up for that now. I think he's feeling remorse. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to move on. Go get your phone. Let's go to W5AJN. That's John in Peoria. Good morning, John. You're up, sir.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning to all the players out there on the net. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is 46 degrees here in Peoria, going up to 72 today. And the clouds are moving in here later this morning, so our UV index will not be very high today. Everything's running okay. Went to the concert which Susan played yesterday, and it was very, very good. Let's see, on your question. I originally was going to look at Echo. I'm not sure if flamethrower was introduced in the First World War. But since everybody's going with Alpha, I'm going to bring Egan become a lemming and go with Alpha. So that's where I'm going to be, and I'll be here on the bottom. So W7AJN.
Okay, very good, John. I so much wanted to see you buck the system there and not go to the living line. Oh, I'm disappointed, John. Okay, we'll put you down for AAA with second thoughts. Very good. So we're going to go out to Pleasanton. That is Bob in X6RG. And I don't know, did you confirm with Schroeder on this question, Bob?
Maybe I should have. K1BOB, X6RG in the group. Oh, boy. Interesting questions on this one. I agree with Captain Bill. On the first one, observation balloons definitely were used in the Civil War, so I know that was wrong. But I remember, I'm pretty sure that the ancient Greeks had ships that were capable of essentially a device which was like a flamethrower because it set enemy sails on fire and then burned their ships in the Aegean Sea. So, and if you're talking about a one-man backpack kind of flamethrower, well, but the question didn't specify that, so I would say functionally, there were flamethrowers in ancient times, and even the use of the trebuchet to hurl rock boulders or whatever. They also hurled fireballs into enemy fortifications with the old trebuchet. There was a device that could bring flames, so I guess it depends on how you phrase that. But I'm going to go with Alpha and Echo on the first one, because I think both of those were not introduced in World War I. The second one, I'm scratching my head, because I think it's Delta, and that's the one I'm going to go with. If I'm thinking of the right battle, and I may not be, but I'm going to go with Delta for the second one. We'll just see how that works out. K1BOB and X6RG.
Okay, Bob, and did you copy when Leon said they are matched pairs? They are matched pairs. Would you like to change your answer?
Oh, I didn't copy that. Okay, well, if we're going to go with that, then... I'll go with A. I mean, Verdun was in Solomon. Those were both such long involved battles. So, I could see that. I didn't realize they were matched pairs, but if that's true, and then I guess E would not be a right answer for the first one. So put me down for double A then in that case. K1BOB and X6RG.
Okay, Bob, gets it down for double A's. Oh, person that did not read the whole. Well, I'm guilty of that myself. When he started to me, I wrote him right back. I said, "Hey, this can't be right." Yeah, I said, "Oh, whoops!" Right away, I didn't read the question properly. Yeah, I do that. Okay, thank you, Bob, and very good. Alpha, Alpha. And next we have Bob and Lutz for Holiday. I'm betting Holiday. K2SJP. Good morning, Bob. Kilo 2, Sierra Juliet Papa, Bob. K2SJP. You're up, Bob. Anybody hear him? I got something way down there.
K2SJP, Bob, you're up. WA6LJS relay. I'm not hearing anything on a couple SDRs or locally, Bob.
Yeah, I just had a DX station way down there. No problem. Oh, thank you, John. Let's go to W6WAY. That's Jim in Corona. Good morning, sir. You're up for the Flyers, Jim.
Okay. Let's see. It's 49 degrees here right now, and supposed to warm up to 73. And for my answer, I'm going to go with Echo. Back over to you.
Okay, Bob, very good. Get you down for Echo Echo. You like that flamethrower? Well, you must listen to Bob talk about that when the Greeks were throwing something. They didn't call it that. There was some chemical or something there. They used to pitch at other ships and start them on fire. I guess that's a downfall of a wooden ship in those days. That was cruel wars back then. That might have been the contestant. They must have been contestants in those fleets for the wanton slaughter and inept tactics at times. Very good. Got you down for Echo Echo, Jim. Thank you for joining us this morning, sir. Next, let's go out to Tulsa, and that is Dan, Kilo 5, Charlie Alpha Yankee. Good morning again, Dan. You're up.
K1BOB and the rest of the Flyers, good morning. This is Dan K5CAY in sunny Tulsa. We have clear skies. We've already reached our high temperature. It was about 60 and then supposed to be 46 later this afternoon. But it'll be a nice, pretty day. As for the questions, they also, yes, I agree with that. And I was thinking on the battle, 1915 Battle of Verdun, they lost a lot of people. And I'm not sure if that was correct, but I will go with the matched pair of Alpha Alpha. And I have questions after the net on NetLogger for someone as a question of what's being put on the screen. Anyway, back to you, Bob. K1BOB, this is K5CAY.
Okay, Dan, thank you for that. We picked you for Alpha Alpha, and you had a question for NetLogger about putting the question on the screen. I'll let Leon answer that at the end of the net there, Dan. Thanks for that. I'm very glad to have you with us this morning, sir. Okay, next, let's go out to Mike. That's King Queen, 6 Echo. Not a good hand there, Mike, but you're up. Good morning, sir.
done. And south there and a number of historical sites in Scotland. And it's an amazing thing that those animals are done. I know it lasted. And I'm going to go with that. And, with that, and also the observation balloon, I think the French were using those back in the 1700s. They weren't a new thing. Although I do remember one of my favorite movies, Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, and Bruce Willis and his tail jumping up, yelling, "We land," and puncturing the balloon and dropping into the Suez Canal. But anyway, a little bit of levity on that one. But anyway, that's my answer, Alpha, and we'll see if we're right. So
Okay. King Queen 6 Echo. Very good, Mike. Got you down for Alpha Alpha and those magnificent men and their flying machines. Who can't remember that? And yeah, they hot air balloons have been out forever, I think. They've been out forever. And few people have killed themselves, and a lot of movies made about those too. So very good, Mike. And we will catch you on the 73 round. And next, let's go out to Dave in Canyon Lake, Texas. That sounds Canyon Lake. I might have been through there once. W5 DJV. W5 DJV. Dave, a visitor. Are you out there today? Come on in, sir. Whiskey 5 Delta Golf Victor. Dave, are you there? Okay, moving on to somebody I know is there. That's Larry, KB0LTT, in Silver Springs, Texas, on the base there. Good morning, Larry. You're up, sir.
Okay, well, good morning once again, Bob, and good morning to all the flyers. Current weather at the Ocala Jim Taylor Field. I have winds 50 at 7, clouds overcast at 800 feet, visibility 10, temperature 65, dew point 61, humidity 87%, and the pressure 3027. I tell you what, I've read this question several times. Talk about a word jumble there. And I think I'm going to go with Occam's razor on this one and keep it simple. And I'm just going to go with Alpha Alpha and follow the line. I know some of these items were invented before World War I, but as far as being utilized as a weapon, just keep it simple and go with Alpha Alpha there. But back to you, Bob. K1BOB, KB0LTT.
Okay, Larry, got you down for another Alpha Alpha there. And let's see, 87% humidity, I think you said 67 degrees. I think that's the equivalent to 99% felt heat, I think. So very good there. Humidity even in the middle of winter in Florida. I love it. I've been there in the middle of winter. I had sleet on me when I was jogging down at Eglin one time many years ago. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, this is K1BOB. Let's go out to over to San Antonio. That's WB5DRI. Brian, good morning. You're up, sir.
Yeah, K1BOB. And this is WB5DRI down here in San Antonio. Good morning, Bob, and good morning to all on the net. Nice day down here in San Antonio. We're already in the low 70s, about 72. I think our low temperature this morning was about 66, and we're going up to about 77 today for the high. So a really beautiful day here in San Antonio. Anyway, very good to hear everybody this morning. For the DX chasers out there like myself, I did work Antarctica last night for the first time. A station in the Neumayer 3 site there in, I guess it's a Norwegian site in Antarctica, and during Maudland, wherever that is, I kind of looked it up. I think it's south of Beauvais there in Antarctica. So kind of interesting. was happy to work them, and I already have them confirmed. They confirm on LOTW right away with their logs, apparently at the end of each day. Anyway, enough of the DX report there. On your question, Bob, great question there from Lee. I know that, as was mentioned a couple of times, observation balloons were definitely used in the Civil War to help out in that war. So I'm going to say Alpha for the answer, Alpha. And certainly those battles in World War I were brutally violent and horrible. The war to end all wars, of course, didn't turn out to be that way, but it certainly turned out to be first of many tragic battles and war. Anyway, back to you, Bob, and thanks for getting us all in there this morning. Good to hear everybody. Pretty good conditions on the band. K1BOB, WB5DRI. Back to that. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, Brian, good morning to you. Got you down for Alpha. Thanks for all that. Well, you reminded me, those World War I were very stagnant wars, trench warfare. Something we haven't talked about much is blowing up those tunnels and stuff. There's been a few movies on that lately, a series movies I was watching the other day, which involved some of the ugliness of World War I. Certainly the trenches and, oh my gosh, the technology they were starting to do back then because they didn't have anything better. So thanks for that, Brian. So we're going to move on. I'm going to ask for John to bring in Russ. That's K8AF in Ellensburg, Washington, my neighbor just up north here. And if he doesn't come up, John, would you please bring him in?
K1BOB, this is Kilo Randolph the Fox. Yeah, I got you down in the noise. You're still copying well, Bob, and also have you up on the FCR as well. So hopefully you can hear me, or at least maybe I'm coming to you on the FCR. Snow right now, we got about 4 inches of snow, and it's still coming down. It's in the low 30s, upper 20s. So it's kind of fluffy snow. It isn't that heavy yet, so that's good. And so that gives me something to do later today after work. For the question, I will go with Alpha. It seems I remember as a kid reading about balloons being used in the Civil War, so I guess I'm going to go with that. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll be here to the end to turn back to you about K1BOB, K8AF.
Okay, 8AF, copied all that. Very good. Russ, I've got you down for Alpha, sir. And, I got you lately here, and very good down at Ogden, just far enough to get you well. Let's see. Well, good. Got you down for Alpha, and a little cooler up there. Or about the same as it is here. I don't know if it's hit 40 yet. No, it hasn't. It's quite a bit down, actually. So with that, we'll leave it for now there, Russ, with Alpha. Lemming line answer, and that's okay. Next, we're going to go out to KG5PTE. That's James out in Belton. I need to know if your antenna's wet this morning. James, my SWR here on a snowy substitute antenna is 1.05, and that's in bypass. I'm not going through the tour. Is that too high? Over to you, James.
K1BOB, KG5PT. Well, we think we found the problem, but so far SWRs without the tuner are 1.6, with the tuner that's flat. So we'll get it working, and it works even just because you got a high SWR doesn't mean you have an efficient antenna. I've seen that happen before. I've seen SWR as high as 3 and the antenna still be efficient. So hey, I've been studying out these questions. So Leon is looking for matching sets of weapon capabilities that did not make it debut in World War I. So I am forced to go with the Lemmings Alpha. Good question, Leon. And excellent question. So with that, Bob, everything sounded good. Everybody sounded great over here. Hopefully my signal's good to you. I'm about 400 watts of power on the ASU here. And using the hex beam. Back to you, Bob. K1BOB, KG5PT. I'll be here for the 73 round and Echo Link.
Okay, James. Very good. Got you down for Alpha. Alpha, you feel forced to do that? Very good. And yeah, one thing I noticed, if you do get a high SWR on an antenna, I think sometimes it'll allow your amp to put out more power, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I noticed that one time when I didn't have things right. It was putting out more power than it normally did. It went over 1,000 watts, where I normally would put out 8 to 900 on the same power setting. So I don't know all these vagaries of that. With that, got your answer there. Alpha, James, and thank you. Next, we're going to go out to Justin. Oh, very close. Down in Ogden, KB7 LAK. Good morning, Justin. You're up.
And might be a little busy, so I'm going to have to just make this my one of them. I'm going to send the 3 round if I'm able to work my one here. But yeah, put me down for Alpha. Over in Denver, early 1900s. So it was, that was in the new thing, putting gas with a new thing. I mean, nobody's used that against us, I think, for terrible one. But some veterans out there that were thankfully they did the and everything. So yeah, I'm going to start the conservation down. I'm just going to say I'm worse. Well done, and we'll do it for the party down. Anyway, kind of cool today. The sun keeps poking out and flying today. We got the sun scorched on me. It's about 25, 26 degrees out right now. So really cool. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday. And yeah, continue to listen to Electric Radio, Bob. Look for you guys later. If you pass by 73 with the sun, I'm going to stop there and look around. I'm going to be all right. Maybe some LA back to next.
Okay, Justin, I think you said Alpha, and you gave us 73. Can you give me a Roger on that?
Roger on the Alpha.
Okay, I heard the Roger. That always comes through. Very good, Justin. Well, have a great day, and we've got you duly recorded as Alpha and Alpha. And next we have a visitor from Kingman, Arizona. Been there. On a few things there. And that's Ken, AE7SX, Alpha Echo 7. Sierra X-Ray. Ken, are you there in Kingman? You're up for the Flyers. Yeah, he's talking, John. Okay, AE7SX, thanks, Ken. You're coming in pretty good up here, and you're coming in on the Ogden repeater there. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. And I'll show you a pass on the question. And are you going to hang around for our 73s round, sir? Okay, roger that. Very good from Kingman. And I was stationed up in Flagstaff. I've been in Kingman a few times. So thanks, Ken, for joining us. And we're going to move down the list to WX7 Lima. That is Art out in New River, Arizona. Good morning to you, Art. WX7 Lemming. You're up, Art. Okay, Art, you're a little lighter than normal here, but you got that. You can't hang around, so we'll give you a 73, and we recorded your answer as Alpha. I wouldn't expect anything else from a Lima. All right. Well, you have a great day down there, and enjoy it. Next, we're going to move on to Choctaw, and that is Chief Mike, WW5ENC. What do you think, Mike? You're up, sir.
Oh, hi. I guess he jumped over me and then jumped back like hopscotch, but that's cool. Anyway, K1BOB, WW5ENZ here, to do the official stuff. And, yeah, I'm pretty late today because I had to go to commissary. We were running out of stuff, so we stopped in there and, went back to the base, checked out everybody, made sure all the cops at the gate are doing good and all that stuff. Anyway, other than that, I come back to this interesting question. And, I understand what some of the dilemma is here. It's like they don't exactly match up, maybe, but I'm sure, everybody has their own way of looking at stuff sometimes, and I'm sure they had a great reference here. So I guess I'm going to go with Alpha Alpha also and be a Lima Lemming. And it's a pretty nice day here in Oklahoma. Not too bad a wind, but the temperature's about 57. Maybe probably be 60 by now. I've been in here for a minute or two, and it's pretty nice. So other than that, I'm going to turn it back, and I'll be here to the bottom and see how this thing works out. WW5ENZ, turning it back to K1BOB, WW5ENZ.
Okay, Mike, I think you said Alpha Alpha. You did say Alpha Alpha. Yeah, I noticed I skipped ahead to Art there. Lee covered for me. He tried to cover for me, but you caught it. Very good for giving a morale check with the cops at the front gate. That is a lonely job, being a cop at a front gate, and they don't get a lot of good comments. So anytime I could give them a crisp salute when I went through, and in fact, we owned in the airbase wing there. We owned the cops there. That was one of our subordinate squatters there. And actually, all the young guys did really good. They did very good in the NCOs. It was the top commander there we had to kind of fire for actually forging a signature of mine. And it just kind of rippled down to his first NCOs that said they would not investigate it, and I kind of understand that. But eventually we redlined him for promotion, and he left the squadron there shortly after. So unfortunate, those things happen, and it can be an airman or it can be a lieutenant colonel. It doesn't matter. If you're bad, you're bad. We do stupid things. Anyway, next let's move on and say hi to Chris in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We had a good signal the other day on the weekend there. Was that yesterday or the day before, Chris? Good signal there. But you understand you have to be receive only there. You're at work, so we're going to give you a wing rock. And how do you do? And with that, Ray is the same way, unfortunately, down up in New Jersey or over in New Jersey from here. And receive only for a broken hex beam. Sorry to hear about that, Ray. Must have been a pretty big wind for New Jersey, but you're southern New Jersey, I guess, pretty close to the ocean there. So, Ray, a hat tip to you, sir. With that, that's the net as I have it. Before I turn it over to Leon for the dramatic conclusion of today's question, did I miss anybody on today's net? K1BOB calling. Have I missed anybody?
Kilowatt Mike 5 Zulu Ocean.
Okay, I got Kilowatt Mike 5 something Ocean. Could you come back again with your call sign slowly again like that, and your name and location, please?
QSL, this is Zulu Ocean. Zulu Ocean. Kilowatt Mike 5 Zulu Ocean. Name is Tony, and we're in Fort Worth, Texas. Roger.
Okay, Fort Worth, Kilo Mike 5 Zulu Ocean, and that's Tony, I guess, and in Killer, Texas, there. Go ahead. You're up for the Flyers. Any comments for the Flyers? Have you been listening in? Did you hear the question this morning?
I was listening in for a while. I'm more of a listener than a talker. I did not hear the question, so I want to ask what was the question and before we check out.
Okay, Tony. Well, we're about to give the answer to the question, so you'll hear the question and the answer here all at once. By the way, Air Force Flyers Club Net, which you've landed upon, starts at 1600 Zulu this time of year. And you're welcome to join us. We love to have visitors to the net. Do you have any military experience, sir?
I personally don't have military experience, but I come from a big military family. My second cousin, my father's first cousin, was a three-star general, General Calvin Waller, who had a CENTCOM and took over the events in Kuwait after General Warport was retired. So I was very close to him, and I have another cousin who was in the Air Force and in the Navy. He was head of the avionics upgrades at Miramar, and he retired as a colonel.
Okay, Tony. Well, great. I'm sure you got a lot you could share with us about your extended family there. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're going to go to a 73 round at the end here. We should have time to do that, so I invite you to come back and hang in there. We'll keep you on the list there. And so join us again, please, also, Tony. This is K1DOB. Did I miss anybody, or are there any late check-ins to the net? Come now.
ESH is in there, Bob.
Oh, Bob, okay, up in Oregon. Bob, you're up. Go ahead. W7ASH. W7ASH, K1DOB. Oh, very good, Bob. Good to hear from you. I got you down for Alpha, and a 73 from you also, and tough listening out there. Yeah, I can't hear a whiff of you on my radio here, but I'm getting you down in Ogden. It's just far enough away to pick you up. So thanks for that. And if you have any questions on the material I sent you on your Hicks, on getting that Hicks theme up, and anything about the pictures I sent, don't be afraid to ask. I hoped it would be pretty self-explanatory, but it probably is not. So with that, we'll give you a 73 there, Bob. And thank you for joining us. Okay, this is K1BOB, and appreciate Bob coming in there. I'll ask one more time just in case I missed somebody else. Are there any other late check-ins? Anybody I missed on today's net, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. This is K1BOB. We've had a great question this morning, and I'm going to ask N5BE if he wouldn't mind giving the answer and explanations on today's question. And I was at fault for not reading it. I read it too quickly. And he replied back and I said, "What's with this?" And he was kind enough to be gentle with me. N5BE, you're up, Lee.
K1BOB, N5BE. Je m'appelle Léon Bergeron français. I did that without my wife being here. Let's go to, first of all, I want to say, after yesterday's debacle, I was in despair. That was not my intent yesterday, to stuck everybody, and I felt bad about it. So today is redemption. Thank you, guys. You're making me happy. I think most of you got it. And I love the thinking, like Bob, with the Greek fire and everything. I guess I should put another disclaimer down. Device. Anyway, well done, Bob. So let's go to the first one. Flamethrower and poison gas. Our good old friends, the Germans, came up with that. 1915. Flamethrowers and poison gas. Battle of Ypres salient, Ypres number 1. There were 3 main battles there at Ypres in Belgium. So, boy, I think great guys. And then they complained that the Winchester shotgun should be banned, and they went to the Hague Convention to try to get our shotgun banned for being too nasty. Oh yeah, really. So anyway, and then tanks. The British introduced tanks at the Battle of Cambrai, and then the Germans had theirs. Airplanes, that was right from the beginning. They were flying airplanes there, observation, keeping track of each other, and dropping messages. Eventually they had radios in the aircraft. So, and then of course you know how it spiraled from there. So the correct answer that did not make it to I even put it in capital letters, guys. Did not. So, read the question. It was the observation balloons, and many said, I think starting with Bill, that they had them during the Civil War. There'll be a balloon-related question coming up whenever it is the truth. I did one of those this morning. So that was A. A was the first one. And of course, that means the second question is A. And the reason I put the Somme and Verdun together on A is they are connected. The French were going to make a big push through Verdun, and they begged the British to have a push up north to help relieve them from the pressure they were getting from the Germans. The British reluctantly agreed to this in their sector, which is north of the French sector. And it went down in history to this day as how not to conduct a battle. And on the first day, they had 54,000 casualties. This went on for weeks and weeks. And there was some horrific fighting. It started off by mines being exploded under the German lines. These mines are still there. Enormous craters. And the explosions were so severe that the furniture in southern England was rocked by the explosion, and they could hear the explosion in London. just horrific fighting. But those two are connected. Let's put down the other one. Steve Salient in Belgium. Very nasty fighting. The Brits were honed in on three sides with one little isthmus to get into the town, and they took it from all sides. The Battle of Loos, 1915. I think Bob was talking about that one. That was infamous for Rudyard Kipling's son on his 18th birthday being killed there, leading his platoon into battle. He had just turned 18 on that day. His body was never found. They think they may have found articles of clothing recently that they're not sure. And very sad. There's a movie about that called My Boy Jack. I challenge you to get through that without going for the hanky. And Verdun as a standalone was also. Belleau Wood was where our Marine Corps had their first battle. And boy, that was nasty. They had no food, no water, but that's where the Germans called them the Double Dogs, and it's stuck to this day. So that's the background. Now, I think there was a question about putting the question on NetLogger. I believe it can be done. I have no idea how to do it, and I think Mike and I talked about it, and I think James said at one time it can be done. I have no clue how to do that. I am basically a NetLogger appliance operator. So someone wants to teach us how to do that, raise your hand. K1BOB and 5B, thank you, Bob. And that's it for today. 33.
Okay, well, that was great for today, Leon. Thank you for doing all that. And, yeah, if somebody has a suggestion on how to put this on NetLogger, we'll ramp up Leon's taskings there. And I ask anybody else, Leon's kind of taken on NetLogger, and it's kind of a one-man show these days, and it shouldn't be. We should have some participation from people. I've asked Cecilia, and I get no results from that. And it's an all-volunteer organization here, and when none of us get paid, and we'd love to have some help on some of this stuff. So don't be shy out there. Please raise your hand. I feel you do when the time comes. But let's not let Leon become a one-man show here, or it's going to go to his ego, I think. So, Leon, we're going to try to get you some help there. You shouldn't do this every day. I don't think it's healthy for the man. Anyway, Leon, thank you very much for a very good question there and explanation. With that, I'm going to, getting kind of late for a 73. I'm going to make a 73 round by exception here, so we don't get into the Pacific Alaska net there. So let's try to make it by exception. So if you got something to say, I'm going to give you a call sign, and there were a few 73s I know in there. I don't remember quite who they all were. But if you got something, just go ahead. By the way, the net control for tomorrow's Tuesday night 40-meter net will be Brian, WB5DRI. Just as a reminder there, Brian, not that you need it. So with that, let's try a quick 73. WA6LJS. John, anything?
No, nothing here. Good net today. 73, WA6LJS.
Okay, good work on the finances there and getting the word out here. Well done. We'll try to. I'd like to get that money out by the end of this year. And by the way, those who don't know, we do give to charities. That's primarily where most of our money goes to. It's kind of a holdover from the LeMay Fund, which is one of those. General LeMay, as you know, is a member. And so then we do a few others also there. And supplies, of course, for getting out those trinkets and things we send out to the new members. With that, Bill gave us 73, WTWLD. Let's try Charlie, K4YDB. Charlie, any last comments?
K1BOB, K4YDB. No, I'm good. Thanks. It was good net. 73 is everybody's. K4YDB back to net.
Okay, Charlie, very good. WB5DRI, Joe, Las Cruces, he's still there, 73.
Yeah, K1BOB and the Flyers 75 ABI. Yeah, really good question. Good net, Bob. Thanks for running it.
73, see you and all the flyers. K1BOB, W5ABI.
Okay, thank you, Joe, and W5OJ Dale. If you'd get the net, Echo Link going there, I'd appreciate it. I got to go up. I'm going to shut my emergency power down since Lynn told me a while back. We've got normal power in the house now, so she can do a few more things. Dale, go ahead.
Okay, will do, Bob. No problem. Good net. 7-3, everybody. See you on Echo Link. W5OG.
Okay, Dale, thank you. And it takes down my Starlink, so I won't have that, and I won't be able to get on the net there until it comes back up. So that just takes a moment or so. W7AJN, John, Peoria, 73 round.
Nothing further, Bob. Good next, good question. W7AJN. Everybody making a wonderful day. Thank you. Back to net control.
Good, John. Thanks. Thanks to Lee for that question too. And it was good, especially explanations. Read the question, stupid. That's what I had to tell myself after. NX5. Oh, let's see, Bob. He had to go 73 there. NX6RG. And let me give K2 SJP another call. He might be available. Bob, are you there? Okay, well, maybe he lost his internet. W6WAY, James, are you still there? Okay, no problem, Jim. Well, I tend to think you're a maverick, that old X-Letter pilot like you, so no problems there. Let's go out to Dan in Tulsa, see if you're still there. K5CAY, Dan?
K1BOB, K5CAY. 73 to all the flyers. I'm going to delay my question on NetLogger until later. Everybody have a good day. K5CAY, back to net.
Okay, I'd love to have some from you. That's for sure. I might have a chance at it. Maybe not. Thanks, Dan. Always good to hear you, sir. Let's try Mike. King Queen 6 Echo. Another good answer. Mike, go ahead. King Queen 6 Echo, very good, Mike. 73, good answer. And next, let's try Dave again in Canyon Lake, Texas. W5 Delta Golf Victor. Dave, you still there? Okay, nothing heard from Dave. Let's try Larry again. KB0 LLT, Florida. Larry, go ahead. KB0LTT. Larry, you there? Yeah, you, Larry, go ahead. You're 73 round now. Okay, I guess maybe he's having problems. I need to move on, sorry. Let's go to Brian at WB5 at DRI. Brian, you're up for 73.
Okay, Bob, K1BOB, WB5DRI. Well, good net, Bob. Thanks again for getting us in there. And that Antarctica station I worked, I forgot to mention the call sign. It was Delta Papa 0 Golf Victor November. So you might listen for him. He was on 20 meters last night where I worked him. 73, thanks again, Bob. K1BOB, WB5DRI, back to net. Good day, everybody.
Very good, Brian. Yeah, I've talked down there a couple of times through the years, but it was that day down there, pretty famous place. They gin up during the summer down there. Anyway, so yeah, we got some questions about Antarctica I'm going to ask in the future here. Has to do with aviation. Okay, thank you, Brian, and see you running the net on Tuesday night. K8AF, Russ, you're up. 73 round, Russ. Yeah, who's the hello? Go ahead. Someone trying to get into the Air Force Flyer? Okay, nothing heard further there, nothing heard on Russ. Let's try James, KG5PT. Go ahead, James. KG5PTE, James, you there? 73.
He shows checked out on the in window, Bob.
Oh, okay. And Justin gave his 73s. Thanks, Leon. And let's try Chen in Kingman, Arizona, AE7SX. Ken, are you there? 73 round for the Flyers, sir. Okay, Ken, I think I copied that. Someone's covering up a bit there, coughing into their mic, but gotcha, and a 73. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see, I think Art may have given his 73. WX7 Lima Lima. Art, you there? Okay, nothing heard. And let's see. Bob, W7ASH, 73 round, Bob. And nothing heard, and we do need to get out of here for the Alaska Pacific net. And next we had, we'll say 73 to Tristan Bowling Green. That's KS5KY and WV2JJO, also on receive only. The array will give you a wave. And last I had, not sure, Tony, KM6, Zulu Oscar. KM, is it 6 or 5? Zulu Oscar. Go ahead. Okay, nothing heard. Well, this has been K1BOB. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. We need to get out there for another net coming on TKC above us, and we like to give them a little breather room. With that, I'm going to close down the net, and we're going to be on net Echolink, on the ASFC node, and Dale W5OG, the vice commander, will be there to get things going this morning. I've got to go shut off our emergency power here and restore a few other things to home here before my wife gets cold, perhaps. Although we both got a fire going up there. This is K1BOB and 73, all. Thanks for joining us. I'm relinquishing the frequency at this time.
Oh, this is WW5ENZ. I'm giving my 73s here, and I got skipped twice, but everybody there just say goodbye and take care. WW5ENZ, 73, everybody.
I apologize, Mike, for that. I don't know how I did that. Something's confounding me here. I don't know. Thanks, Mike. WW5ENZ K1ZOZ. Apologize.